Soldering copper joints is not a hard thing to do, but you do need the proper materials in order to do it. So let's go over a couple of things you're going to need for this. That you're going to need to get is some lead-free solder. Now make sure it's got made in the USA and make sure it's got the NSF logo on it to make sure that it's lead-free. You're going to need some sandcloth or a Brillo pad, and you can get you a fitting brush also, and if you can't get a fitting brush you can just use sandcloth. Alright, you're also going to need what's called an acid brush, and we just call it the flux brush because we use it for this. You're going to need flux in order to solder copper joints together. Alright, these are copper cutters. You'll need these in order to cut copper with to the size that you need it. Last but not least, also you're going to need either propane fuel, a propane torch like this, or MAP gas, which is the yellow canister. These are the only things I recommend using, besides unless you're a professional and you know how to use a B tank. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started with the next part of the project. Okay, so let's say we want to join these two ends with the 90, right? So what we're going to need to do is take our fitting brush and clean the inside of that fitting. When it comes to soldering copper, the more clean that you can get it, the better. As you can see, it's kind of a little dirty from sitting on the shelf, but I'm going to make it nice and shiny. There you go. See inside, nice and shiny from the brush strokes. Alright, let's set this to the side for a second. We're going to take our pipe and our sandcloth, alright? Put it just like this. See, nice and shiny difference between sitting on a shelf and clean, ready to solder. Let's take the other end of our pipe, we're going to clean it too. So now we got two nice and clean ends. Now we're going to take our flux brush and our flux. As you can see what it is inside. This is nice stirred up. And you don't need a whole bunch of it, but go ahead and put some inside your fitting, like this. Put some on your pipe, just like this. So you don't lose it, you can go ahead and pop your 90 on, just like that. Throw a little flux on your other pipe. And we'll put that together. Anytime you're soldering a 90 or a T, you want to go ahead and get both ends at the same time. You don't want to do one end and then let it cool down and then heat up this end and do that end, because you want it to be even when it cools. Because if you heat this end up and do this and let it cool, and then you come back 10 seconds later and do this end, it heats this end up again and the solder can possibly fail on you. So now that we got it put together the way that we want it, right? We're going to put our brush up. We're going to put our flux up. I want you to take your solder roll, alright? I want you to pull out some about that long so that you can hold it just like this and put your finger on it just like this and about 3 inches and do a right angle bend, right? Alright. Now we can take our torch, whether you have propane, MAP gas, or a B tank. Let's go ahead and cut our torch on. We're going to start at the bottom of the fitting. You want to heat it from the bottom because heat rises. So start at the bottom of the fitting. And you'll know when you're ready, because you can every now and then just place your solder on here, and you never want the solder to get melted by the flame. You want it to be from the copper itself being really hot. So you can see propane's just a little slower than MAP gas. I prefer MAP gas. Alright, see what we're looking like. Alright, so now you're going to just give it a nice roll like that, all the way around. Come around to the bottom, pull away, hit the other side real quick. And then I like to knock off the excess. Turn the torch off. Now you're going to want to let that cool down, because that's going to be pretty hot. Alright, so here's a closer view of it, where you can see the solder took inside the fitting on both sides all the way around. As you can see, I'm heating it up from the bottom and moving the torch around. Let's give it a little test, and it's ready. We'll come around like that. Alright, now propane, it takes just a little bit longer. And I'm going to roll it around all the way and come around the whole bottom. Get one more good pass and then knock the dirt off. And then, you can see we're ready right here. Alright, so let's say that we're going to sweat in a T, right? You're going to do it the same way you've been doing your 90s and that you would a coupling with 2, except for this time you got 3 places you want to heat up. So like I said, start from the bottom, heat the fitting evenly, move it around. Get some in the back right over there, and you want to do all 3 at once. You don't want to do just these 2 right here and then heat that up. You want to get it all at one time, so get it good and hot without frying it there. You ain't got to have the flame right on the fitting. And just move it around, get it nice and warm. Give it a little test. It's not ready yet. So it wasn't ready yet, so we're going to just keep heating it up. We're going to get it all in the middle here. We're just going to move it around. Move it around. You want to keep the heat even, because heat rises. You don't want to heat it all over the top and try to solder and flip it around. No, do it all in one go. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, we're ready to go on that one. I'm just going to keep the heat on the fitting just to keep it hot enough so that when I get to the other side. That side's good, so now I'm going to go ahead and do this one. Just trying to keep the heat on it. And that's how you sweat a T. And that's how easy it is to solder copper, guys. Remember, the bigger the diameter of the pipe, when you get up to 3/4, 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch and up, you just need to heat it with a lot more than a propane. You need to have at least some MAP gas or a B tank. Alright guys, I hope this helps someone out there. Remember to like and subscribe to my channel, and always be on the lookout for new videos. Have a great day, guys.